Today I'm going to attempt to replace the speakers in the front doors of my 2006 Toyota Tundra. I've watched a few videos on it. I even checked out the ones in the back door, and real quick I'll show you in case you have to do your back door. Take a little screwdriver, pop this loose, this little cap right there. It doesn't come all the way out. There's a Phillips screwdriver behind there. And this you can just pop out with your fingers or a little knife or something. Screw behind there. And then there's two little pins on the side, one here and one here. Those you just push them in a little bit. That releases them. Then you can just grab them with your finger, pull them out. And when you go to put them back in, you push the center part out, slide them back in, and push the cap back in flat like that. And then when you get the screws out, take yourself a pry tool, preferably plastic so you don't scratch up your paint. There's about 6 plastic clips that go around here that hold this on. Just pry those loose and they'll pop right out. In my case, 4 of them stuck inside the metal door, so I had to get a pair of needle nose pliers and pull those out, and then they just slide back into little brackets. But it'll be pretty similar on the front door. Now these are the speakers I got. They're not the most expensive, and they were available at Walmart. That's the only reason I got them. I didn't want to wait several days from Amazon. They're kickers, and they're ESC65. So I know they're not the best, but seem like mine are cracked in the front right now, so I'm getting a lot of crackly sounds. So I listen to my stereo on the back speakers, but I'd like to get these JBLs out and put some nice ones in there that work. So we'll get started on the front door. I'm trying to remember, we got the same clip here. Just pry that out with a little screwdriver, and there should be a Phillips screw there. And then I think you have to pop this out. There's probably a screw there. Pop this out, there'll be a screw there. And on these front and back, same thing. You pry up on this a little bit and down on this one a little bit at the bottom, and that'll just pop out of there. And I like these because you don't have to disassemble this handle to get the door off. And then this one, I think, if I remember right, it pulls towards you or lifts up. I'll grab a pry tool and my Phillips screwdriver, see what we can do here. Well, here's the tools I got. I got my cordless drill with a Phillips bit in it. Then I got my 1/4 inch adapter, because I was thinking maybe a couple of these screws might be T30 Torx head. I got a couple different pry tools. I think that's all I'm going to need, but you know, we can always grab more. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is pry this out of here, get this loose, and this one on my other one just popped right out with my finger, but I've got a little pocket knife I'll use because it's got a thin blade and it'll reach in there. So on this one I just put my knife at the bottom and that popped right out of there. I think it sits in there like this, so yeah, there's a little notch there. You could put a little screwdriver. Just a little friction holds it in there like that. Comes out pretty easy. And I think that's a Phillips. And let's see, I'm gonna pop this one loose. Let me get that one done. I just put my knife in there and pried on a little bit, it popped out. There's a Phillips screw there. Now I'll get that one out of there. So that's just a plastic cap, and I pried it out. And it came out hard and hit my finger, and I don't know where it went. So, oh, there it is right there. I didn't hear it, it's pretty lightweight. But it just snaps on the top of that Phillips screw right there, so it's easy to take off. So, what else we got? I think that's it. Let me get those screws out of there. Oh, on the back door, yeah, there's just a little bit of a gap right inside there. twice I was trying to put the screw in and it fell in the crack right there, went straight to the bottom of the door, which I just pried it out a little bit. The screw fell on the ground. I was able to get it. This one, I went and grabbed my little magnet telescoping. I grabbed the screw with that so it wouldn't fall down inside the door. Not that it would have mattered. Now, when you get this pried loose, which I'm going to do now, and get yourself kind of a stiff pry bar. I've got another one. It's a little softer plastic. It doesn't work very good, but just get inside here, and there's, like I said, maybe 6 or 8 of these clips that go around. I'll show them to you when I get this popped off, but you just got to start someplace and start popping her off. There's one. Oops, not like that. Oh, I forgot to take the pins out. Duh, let me take those out real quick. So these are the pins. Like I said, you just push the head down a little bit. That loosens them up. When you go to put them back in, you have to push that up like this, slide it in the hole, put it back in flush, and it's there. Oh, now maybe with those two out, see, I made a little mark there and a little mark there because I'm trying to take it out without. Jeepers, this one's a little tougher than the back one. The back one just popped right out. Let me do this with 2 hands. All right, I got it pried loose. There's one of the clips. This part goes into the metal door, and this part just slides into a little clip on the plastic. They're pretty easy to put back in place when they pop out like this. Now, when you get the door loose like this one is, oh yeah, I gotta take the handle thing off. And this one you would think maybe you'd pry down, but you actually lift up. See if I can do that while you guys are watching. You just pick up on it a little bit. Up or down. Harder to do with one hand, I can tell you that much. Well, anyway. I know you have to stick something in at the bottom to get it loose, and in the top. But that's not working, so let me try something else. Sorry, I was hoping to do that while you were watching, but there's a little hole. You see the 2 holes there? Those go over a clip there and a clip on the bottom. Right here and right here. So you've got to pry them up over those clips. When you go to put it back in, there's a little clips right there. That slides into here like that, and then it snaps into place, and then the screw holds it. So now that's off, and the doors are hanging over the top here of the seal. So you have to lift them up just a little bit, then they'll come off. Now, I'm not sure about this little tweeter here, where the wire goes, but I don't think I have to worry about that. But you will have a wire right here for this connector on this light, and of course your speaker wire. So you have to disconnect those, then set your door out of the way. So the door panel was hanging up on this plastic bracket, which is here, and it slips down in behind on those brackets, and it's got one little tab here that holds it. It goes into that hole right there. So you just get your pry tool and pry out on it, and then pull it out. There's the tweeter, which I did not get new tweeters. I'm not replacing that. But now the door will just lift up, he said. Why can't you just do anything with one hand? There it goes. Okay. Now you see the wires. There's the wire for the lock and windows. Oh yeah, I don't have to do the speaker. And there's the one for the light down there. So unhook that, unhook that. Should just be a push tab to get them out. And then the door will be free. Okay, I found another one of those tabs. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there must be a few stuck in the door. But they just slide into from the side like that, and they pop back in place. Now what I did with these, they weren't wanting to come out with the pry tool, so I got a pair of needle nose pliers and I put them in this bigger gap here. Then I was able to pry them out of there. You want to be careful. You don't want to cut them or break them. I'm just trying to see here because it's weird. I got these labels on my door. Can't be from original. Anyway, I don't know if somebody's had this off before, but I'm missing 2 tabs over there and 1 here, and I've only got 1 more stuck in the door. So somebody must have had this off before and broke some. Oh, there's one of them. Maybe I'll be all right. Go ahead and slip that in place. Well, jeepers. There. Now, did I lay another one in here and forgot about it? Nope. Okay. I'll pull that one out. Put it where it seems, probably right here. I guess it's just missing one. I don't see another one on the ground. Okay. I was going to show you on these clips for the windows and door locks. It kind of sits in like this, and there's a tab right on the back here. You have to push it down. That releases it. And then this one, the tab is on this side. Push that little tab right there, and then you can pull the speaker wire out. Now, I should be able to take the speaker off. Wow, it doesn't even look like the same size. It's supposed to be the same size. Unless there's some kind of metal frame. One guy cut out a piece of plastic frame I saw. Huh. This doesn't even seem like it's broken. Why is it so rattly? Well, I'll have to do a little more investigation, and I see there's another speaker here that I didn't get. I may have to order some speakers off of Amazon, see if I can't get the right ones that fit. Let me take these 4 screws out and see what that speaker looks like. Well, I don't know if I'm going to post this video or I'm going to delete it, but the speaker I got from Amazon or Walmart is not the same size. I thought it was. This one is just about 6 1/4 across, but the one that came out is 7 1/4. There's an inch difference. And I'm not going to try to figure out how to make that work. I'm going to put it back together, and I'm going to get on Amazon or someplace and find the right speakers, and while I'm at it, I might just go ahead and replace the tweeter. Now the weird thing about the speaker is normally I replaced them a while back and they were cracked in these ridges here, and you could tell it was bad. I mean, it was rattly, but it was also cracked. This one, I held it up to the light. There's no cracks in it. You can't see light through it. So I'm going to plug it in, turn the starter on, and see if it really is that rattly or if it's something else. I thought I'd show you what these speakers sound like. This is the, like a 2-inch tweeter. This one up here really sounds tinny. Now I will plug in the big speaker.
1,000 residents in the zip code where the stadium is located. I'm sure we could make some joke about, you know, like a missing persons report for the offense since Russell Wilson went there, but we won't.
Well, it's not as rattly as I thought it was. I'll check the driver's door. Maybe that's where the rattle's coming from. Now I isolated this speaker. I moved the speakers to the front and to the right, so this is the only one coming through. But let me go ahead and turn it back on,
So there's a,
and we're
ranked in a couple spots there.
to the other side.
We don't want to be ranked.
You hear
Not
that?
liking that at all, so we gotta...
Let me walk around there.
Not a lot of times you say you want to come.
Maybe that's where my rattle's coming from, not from the other side. I took the wrong side off, I guess.
Ugh, I don't have time for a cold.
Honey.
Honey?
You need Dayquil Severe honey flavor.
Dayquil Severe Honey.
Well, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it does sound kind of rattly. And this side doesn't sound so much that way. But when I'm driving down the road, I don't like listening to it, so that's why I put it toward the back. Well, I guess if nothing else, you learned how to take your doors off. I'm going to go ahead and put this speaker back in. Put everything back together. And if it doesn't start raining again, I'm going to go ahead and take the driver's side off and look at that speaker. Maybe it's cracked because it seems awfully rattly. And then I'll have to see about getting some 7-inch speakers. These are original. It's from a 2006, so what's that, 17 years old? I'm sure it's time for an upgrade. And this thing, this little tweeter really sounds rattly. I mean, tinny. Maybe that's just the way it sounds because it's so small, but I never realized there was 3 speakers in the door. So I suppose when this was new, it had a pretty good sound. So anyway, when you go to put it back together, if you do replace your speaker, hook it back up, of course. Put your 4 screws into it. And I've got to pull this out. I tried this trim tool on it, but it just doesn't want to pull on it. I'm afraid it's going to break it. I don't want to do that. So I'll get my needle nose pliers, pull that out of there. And I think that's the last one. I found one laying on the ground here. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Maybe it was just on the other side of the door where I couldn't see it. Anyway, get those on. Set your door on top of this sill here. And then get your handle where it belongs. Make sure your wires are up where you can get to them. Hook up this before you snap it into place. Hook up this before you snap it into place. And then you just gotta set it on there, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You just have to snap those in place with your hand. They go in really easy. Put all your screws back in, close it up, you're good to go. Thanks for watching. If I come across anything else weird, I'll show it to you, but it's a pretty easy door to take on and off.